Alright, gonna play some 3-minute on LeeChess.com. I think today I will look to play weird knight c6s as black against just about everything I can. Let's play a Colorado Gambit. It's a bit ridiculous. Now we can quickly start undermining their center. I think they should take, though bishop b5 is also a move. Now, I can take back different ways. I'm going to go queen today. Yeah, they should play d4. And if I have e5, my position's nice. If I don't have e5, it isn't. I feel I don't quite have e5 here yet. Knight b5 may be a nuisance. I'm going to prevent that. But I'm probably going to have to settle for e6 and a somewhat worse position. The Colorado Gambit is not a great opening. And I do think ed6 is a good line for white that leads to a slight but clear advantage. However, against bishop b5, black can have a lot of fun, where black accepts a damaged structure for very active play, and maybe I'll look at that for a sec after. Maybe I should have inserted knight g4 by now they have time for queen d2, and then knight g4 can be met by bishop f4. I maybe should be looking at b5 and bishop b7, though now that doesn't win tempo. Knight d5 tries to fix my pawns, but I feel like I would then want to follow with knight e4 if my pawns did get fixed, and I'll have traded off my knight. So I'm going to play... I want knight g4, bishop moves, and then like knight d4, queen h2 tricks, but their queen still defends the pawn. So I'm not sure the tricks ever work, and if I add more pressure to d4 with bishop f6, they have time for h3. So I don't love that. I also might just want to trade off their bishop, because that's a good bishop. Yeah. Just going to trade off their bishop, maybe continue with b6, bishop b7. Yeah. Let's trade it off while I have the chance, and then try to get my bishop on an active diagonal. They have queen f3 here. And then I guess I have to play knight d5, because I don't want rook b8, knight c6. So maybe I have bishop b7 there. Can I get away with that? I'm going to try it. They also have bishop f4. Okay, not so concerned about this. I have two bishops. They'll have trouble getting at my weak e6 pawn. In fact, I should evict their knight while I have the chance. I was going to automatically take back bishop, but I think this is much better. I bet they'll play knight d3. Okay. So I probably don't want to play b5 because of knight a5, but I don't want to play bishop somewhere on this diagonal because then a6 falls. So I could play bishop c8. It is awkward. They might have d5 after. Okay, so I'm going to drive away the knight. If knight a5, I'll go to a8, and their knight doesn't have squares. So hopefully I drove them back to d2. Still don't think I want to see knight a5. Okay. Now, I guess put my rooks on the best files. Now the knight can't move because c2 would fall, which is important because it means I start threatening b4 and rook c2. And they have to get tied down with defensive duty. I foresee the opening of this file soon, so I'm going to put the rook there. I think this is a good position for black. I think I'm better here. Maybe I should play knight g4, because the bishop doesn't really have squares, and if they go to f4, I play e5 with tempo. Alright, they stopped that. Let's play e5. They don't have d5, so I can start advancing the center. Alright, maybe knight d5 now. Try to come to b4. So if they move the c pawn, I can then sneak into d3 and just hitting the weakness. Very pleased with how this game is going. I think it's going well. I also had bishop g5. I missed that. Bishop g5 looked very strong last turn. So I'll play knight d3. Maybe now bishop g5? Do I want to give them a chance to save their bishop? Or should I take it now? No. I'm going to play bishop f6, actually. Oh, and I have to speed up. God, I'm so slow. Just threatening to take on d4 if their bishop moves away, because they have problems on the c file. Right, we'll take f2 and then take d4. And speed up. d3? Where's your rook going? I think it's trapped. Ah, you have a knight. Ah. Alright, let's make a check. What am I doing? I don't know. I've lost the plot. The pawn's still pinned. Maybe I'll play g5 and pretend I'm mating them. I am not. Alright, only down 8 seconds or so. Now h5, h4 coming. I think I can pre-move h4. Bishop e3 looks annoying for them. Gotta play faster. Try to invade. And I do have mate in 2 if they do anything to push. Yeah. Okay. 1 for 1. Got a little scary when I was slow on time, and I think I handled the strategy sometime in the middle when I said I lost the plot, sometime pretty wrongly. But I really like how I played the opening to middle game. I think I turned a tricky position into a good one. I'm going to play a weird almost Yugoslav where I've played bishop e2 instead of f3. And the idea is to get a quicker h4, h5 when black isn't quite prepared for it. It doesn't work quite how it normally does. And it can throw some players off. h5, bishop h6 coming. Try not to hang d4 when I do so. Now let's take, play bishop h6. Probably should have played bishop h6 before taking. I'm not in a rush because my bishop, unlike a pawn on f3, does more work to support. Okay. Now is f3 good? That is the question. f3, knight f2, queen h6 check. I have to imagine this is very good. If that isn't an advantage, then fine. And it might not be. Because knight f2, queen h6, king f7, bishop c4, king e8, I wasn't actually sure how to crash through there. Okay, let's start trying to trade off their defenders. This is the only defender of h7, so I'm just going to try to trade it off. I think I have a nice initiative here. Knight d5, I take on h7 before I recapture. Okay, well, we have traded off a defender. Happy to do so. Can take on h7, then g6 gets weaker. I'm also starting to threaten like queen g8. Can't take on g6 because they have a good defensive knight, and I don't have f4 to evict it because they have the rook. But it's promising. Okay. Maybe queen g7. Idea rook h8. Their counterplay has been much too slow. I do think this bishop e2 line has like a lot of venom for something that looks very passive and solid with bishop e3 and bishop e2, but the goal is not to castle kingside, it's to castle queenside. Okay. Maybe bishop b5, hit the pinned piece. If they retreat their knight from c6 to c6, they suddenly have potential problems with something. What do they have problems with? e5? Just blast everything open? Yeah, this looks very dangerous for them. I mean, I think it's a win. Okay. Can take on g6. Their rook has no discoveries that matter because I open up on e8 and it's pinned anyway. They can't play knight e5 because I take on e8. I don't think. They do hit my queen at the end, so I don't have time to take on a8 after. But everything's defended, so I don't see why that would be a problem. Yeah, this looks like a win. And a fun line. I've done very well with this bishop e2, bishop e3. Theoretically, I think black can equalize. So I can take on e8. Let's take on d6 first. So that if I take on f7, it's with check. Yeah, and now I guess take on e8. And also throw in knight e6. Does it do anything? Or bishop c6? Let's throw in bishop c6. They'll never have knight d4. They take back bishop. I take on f7 and then a8. So they'll take back pawn. Now rook e8 looks convincing. Also, by getting rid of the knight, they don't have rook e7 after I take here if they take back. Alright, so up a full piece, and it's hard for them to save the rook, so they resign. Alright, 2 for 2. Really like that opening line. That one's a... ooh, maybe we'll face the Colorado Gambit. Alright, didn't. Okay, let's see what they're doing. I think this is a reasonable way for black to play with e5. They didn't go for e5. Well, if they're not going to go for e5, then I'm going to push their knight there so they don't get that stake in the center. And I'm intending to take back g. Yeah. And say, I have a space advantage, and I'm going to push f4 and e5. And really try to say I have something. I kind of like a rook g1. Because if they play g6, I will then take on e5, now that their bishop's kind of committed to going this way and can't use the newly available squares. So they took first, and then played g6. That makes sense. I'm going to castle queenside and go for aggression. Again, try to trade off the best defensive pieces. I think people attacking often have the instinct of no trades, when the instinct should be trade the key defenders. Don't trade other things. Okay. Interesting. Alright, yeah, I guess I'll reinforce e4. I could have taken en passant, but I feel like that's just opening files for them. I'll take and then play f4, look for e5. They're finding nice compensation, though, because they have both b4 and c4. Alright. They don't have c4, bishop c4, knight e4, queen d, because queen d4 check, and I pick up the knight because they don't have knight f6 because it's pinned to the queen. So they either sacrifice this to just come to the c file, or they blundered it. I would guess they blundered it, actually. But they may have just intended to play this aggressively. Alright. e5. Let's go active. Now I would like to play e6. Can I get away with it? What about bishop d5? Come somewhere with tempo. I want to play f5, and if I took on b5, then if I went f5 after, they'd have rook a2 with real threats. So I'm going to make a move that comes with a threat, and then play f5, and try to blast open their king. Okay. This looks easily defended, but I maybe have missed something. They want to trade queens. Can I be clever? Throwing an e7 check do anything? Probably not. Okay, I'll take. And then take on g6 and let them come through on c2. Because I don't see a follow-up move for them. And I threaten knight e7. So they don't have time, I don't think, for like bishop d3. So I'm threatening knight e7, I'm threatening gh7, I'm threatening maybe knight f6. Maybe just go for h4, h5. Don't need to push the e-pawn yet. Gotta worry about bishop d3 checks at the right moment, defending g6. I don't have rook f1 driving their king away from the defense. Maybe king c2. If they trade here, it's just pretty easily winning. Alright, let's harass their pawns with my king. I still think it's a very easy win if they trade rooks. So, they have to look for something else. Okay. Let's tie them to this pawn and start looking to make a passer. b4, a4, b5. Ooh, now I have rook d1, because they can't defend d6. Yeah. Alright, 3 for 3. I'm pretty good. I think they should play e5 here. My bet is e5's the move. Okay, e5 and a6 are both moves. After a6, my early d5 might have been a little worse than development, but looks in the same kind of range. And at the end it was saying best, bishop e2, takes, f4. Yeah, white has a nice advantage. Yeah. They chose not to play the mighty Colorado Gambit. Don't look at the computer evaluation. It's good. Alright, 3 for 3. Okay, Colorado Gambit. Let's go. They play d4, I play d5, and try to get an improved Scandinavian. Now the idea is just to recapture. Something like bishop d3, I can immediately harass the bishop. Now bishop d3 is the main move. Okay, this also exists. I always get a piece trapped because I forget what to do against this line. Think, how can I get a piece trapped? I usually find a way to get this bishop trapped. So I think start with e6. And then I play like knight e7, g6, bishop g7. You can see how the bishop gets trapped. So instead, let's develop more normally. Ooh, except now knight e5 hits really hard. That's why the knight goes to e7. Huh. Yeah. Terrible. Okay. What's something to do? Let's play rook c8. Just get the rook off the thing. Just chuck a pawn. Never wanted it. Make sure I don't get forked, because if I went rook b8, they take this way and then with the knight. Alright, my king's on f7. That's fine. Now I wish my rook was on b8, but I could not have played it there immediately, and I wanted to make sure this one didn't fork. a8 and e8. So I went this way. Bishop d6. We're not even down a pawn. We'll play like we're even material, just trying to activate all our pieces. I think that's often a good way to play when down material is, you know, you don't want to seek out trades, but you want to make the most active moves you can, and if those happen to come with trades, then so be it. Did I get my pawn back? Or are they getting sufficient annoyance in return? But I'm on c2 now. If I can, I'll play queen d6 and try to trade queens, because I think my position's pretty active with c2 as a weakness. Maybe they should play bishop a4, threatening bishop b3 traps with my rook. Okay, they're instead going for activity. Alright, rook c2 though. And if knight c5, maybe queen d6. And because both of these are loose, they have to trade queens, and if they do, I take back and I hit the knight there, and if they move it, the bishop hangs. So they went for something else. Makes sense. I guess queen d6. I really like improving my pawn from c7 to d6, because it means their knight has no entry. So for instance, if queen d6, c d6, rook c2, bishop c2, they don't have knight c5 at the end. And I will play rook c8 next turn if I get the chance. Somehow I'm up a pawn. Not sure how that happened. Just playing active moves. Rook c8 was a goofy move to make. I mean, the position was terrible. But, okay. This makes sense. I don't want to allow their rook in. So if bishop a4, I don't have a good way to defend the rook coming in, because I can't play rook e8 because the bishop takes it, and I can't play rook d8 because rook c7, rook d7, the bishop still takes it. So I think I should retreat my bishop. And this seems to be a square that makes it a little harder for them to get their bishop out of the way while keeping control of these two squares. So now maybe bishop a6 with the idea that I can contest with rook c8 now. Yeah, I like how I handled this. Not even behind on the clock. Okay, per usual, I would like to look for something active to do. Maybe bishop c4, because if they... Ooh, but that blocks my rook coming in. So okay, knight e4. That looks like the most active move. Now maybe knight c3. Hit the bishop, sometimes have knight e2. Where's your knight going? Okay, what about knight b5? How do you defend the pawn? Just asking questions. I haven't figured out much of a plan here. Let's give them a chance to make a mistake, because rook c1, knight e4 check wins. Okay, they were not kind enough for that. Alright, let's keep asking questions. Put my knight on ever more ridiculous squares. But I'm coming to c4 now, I think. Not entirely sure. Let's try to prevent them expanding over here. They can now try to come in on the h-file. Am I worried? I guess enough. Worried enough. Okay. I didn't find something useful to do. So if, say, knight b5, rook h6, king f7... Gotta go faster. And better. Alright. Okay, they don't want the draw. Good, because I don't want the draw, but I didn't see how to avoid it with 20 seconds on the clock. So I feel this was very good for my winning chances. And they got a little excited about the clock. Hopefully I don't reward them for it. They could have walked into a mate. They correctly chose not to. It's awkward. My king's awkward. What to do? Losing it. I'm gonna reward them, aren't I? Yeah, I hung my rook. Yeah. Yeah, that's mate. Okay. I would have played g7 mate for them. Okay, I think that's 3 for 4. Yeah. Time trouble's a tough one. When you get to a position that's like clearly just up a pawn and they don't have play, and I just allowed knight b5. I just allowed knight b5. Okay. Now I can play cd4 and a6. Okay. It's hard to, like, when you get a position where you're just, like, better in an endgame and down 20 seconds, and you lose, to not think, okay, time management. Doesn't get my bishop out, but I'm going to try to contest theirs. I'll probably play knight e5. Okay. I can play g5 and say their pawns are bad. Sure, let's say that. Chess is about making claims. I claim these pawns are weak. Do you have something cute? Discovery on my knight? I don't see it. Knight e5, I'll just play knight e5. So my claim is I'm up a pawn, and I potentially even have some attacking potential over here. And their claim is I have wasted time and made weaknesses. Alright, well now knight h5 looks more tempting. Their queen has no entry squares, and f4 is so nice. This also is the added benefit of making my queen not vulnerable to discoveries, because it is protected. Okay. I'll take here, because if they swap queens first, I take and counterattack this. Do I want to swap queens? I'm up a pawn. Why wouldn't I? Okay. Let's improve my pieces. It was attacked. Am I in a rush to take the bishop? I don't think so. I would like to play king e7, rook c8. That is my dream. They don't have g3 now because of knight takes h3, so they're going to be quite slow to evict my knight. A little faster. Okay, but now they'll never have threats on f7 because they can't double there. So they can push my knight out. Maybe I'll come to h5, hit there, and if they push, get back to f4, and maybe swing around this way. So they'll play g4 probably, but then I have h5. They're stopping it a different way. Okay. Maybe b5, b4. Try to get in on the c file. Or play bishop b5 after. Ooh. I was thinking on knight e8 to stop them getting to f6, but I have to defend f7 first. If I play rook f8, then this gets behind my pawn annoyingly, so I'll play bishop e8, but I'm not happy about it. Because now my knight and rook are just out of the game. How can we pretend they're not? Let's push things. If I can push things next to them, maybe they're part of the game. Okay. Let's pretend this is activity. Maybe play for b4. Say, I'm being active on both sides of the board, and in fact, I'm being active on neither. But now I might threaten a5 as well. Get the pawn off a potentially weak square. b4. Yeah, I don't see what their move was. Okay, can't take that. Oops. So if I play a5, they might play bishop b5 and get rid of the defender of the pawn. That's sneaky. So I guess I'll play rook b6 to keep the pawn defended so they can't take, and then play bishop b5. How do my pieces ever do anything? They're going to play knight f3. Ooh boy. Okay. Rook h8 to g8. If they take on g5, maybe I have knight f or knight h5 check. Probably knight f. Didn't work. Ooh boy. Alright. Try to come in. They can't take on f7 yet, I don't think. Trying for rook b4. Play rook g8. Still threatens something to f5. Like if they take on f7, I just play knight f5 check and break up the rook's defense of the knight. Okay, check. Bishop takes, bishop f7. Do I survive? Maybe. Okay, still have everything defended. Maybe rook b4. Fork. And g4 is potentially weak. I think this position's gotten a lot better for me than it was, which might not be saying a lot. Okay, you have another way into play. Sure. Okay, let's come for this one. Oh, no, I blundered rook c7. Oh, resigns. Alright, 3 for 5. Collapsed at the end, but I feel like this position's okay. No, it's not. Alright, what about... No, rook c1 stuff's just too good. Okay, thought I had started to neutralize it, and was wrong. When did I ever feel okay here? I should have been better around here. Yeah. That's cute. Yeah. So I had so many problems on the f-file, but I can just play f5. That would have been very good. Just get rid of the potential weakness when I had the chance. Didn't see quite how bad it would get, and missed the opportunity. Okay, 3 for 5.